Hi there, I'm going to share with you how to make your homemade pasta, sauce and everything. Okay, so here we go. We've got the veggies in here. That is asparagus, squash, carrots, and of course some cauliflower. I love cauliflower. And then what we have in here is our organic pasta right here. I'm just using some rotini. Now let me share with you how to make your homemade mayonnaise, which is a creamy sauce that I love to add to any pasta that I make. So here we go. I'm gonna set you right here so you can follow me this whole process, okay? So stay tuned. We've already added an egg yolk and one entire egg, okay? So let me show you inside what we got here. Can you see that? I'm not gonna pour it too far because gonna make a mess. You see that? There's the eggs in there. What we're gonna do is process this for 20 seconds. So let's get this on here. Let me see where we're gonna get it going. And this is not working right now. There we go. 20 seconds. Next thing we're gonna do is add 1 tablespoon. If I can get this open, hold on a second. There we go. The next thing we do is we add 1 tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, okay? So we're gonna add that. 1 whole tablespoon, get it going. Gonna put that in there. Like so. The next ingredient is a vinegar. White vinegar or red vinegar, whatever your preference is. I'm using this organic apple cider vinegar with the mother still in it, okay? Now we're gonna also add 1 tablespoon of the vinegar, like so. Here you go. And I'm gonna do that. What we're gonna do now is blend for an additional process for an additional 20 seconds, okay? Let me show you what it's looking like so far because it really gets an interesting texture. Do you see that? Okay, now we're gonna blend that for an additional 20 seconds. And it really helps when you add a little bit of salt too, say 1/4. I'm not gonna measure, I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, there we go. Now, putting the lid back on, okay? And we are gonna process it again for 20 seconds. The next thing that we're going to do is add a squeeze of lemon, fresh lemon I prefer. There we go. And we're going to use some oil. An oil preferably that doesn't have a very strong taste to it. So grapeseed oil, some use canola, some people use soybean oil. It's really the oil to your preference. Can you use olive oil? Yes, but olive oil does have a specific taste to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use grapeseed oil, 1 cup. Let me grab that. Here's the grapeseed oil. Going to use 1 whole cup of this. The important thing is that we start off with just drops inside of the processor, okay? So it's really tricky. You have to really stay focused when you're doing this. You can't pour it in all fast at one time. You have to try your very best to do just little drops at a time. And then, okay, that was a stream. But we're gonna go with it, okay? So we're gonna process this also. This is, mind you, this is a little messy with the one I'm using, but hopefully you have a better food processor than the one I'm using. So do this for 10 seconds. And you kind of repeat the process until it gets thicker and thicker, okay? It's important, the thickening part about it. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna process again. Okay, same kind of procedure. Here we go. we're gonna repeat this procedure until it thickens. I'm gonna share that with you in just a second. I'm gonna finish this mixing part and I'll show you how it thickens. Now, look, this is only halfway through. Do you see how it's starting to get a lot thicker? Now, we still have half of a cup left of the oil. I'm going to continue to mix this in and you will see this beautiful mayonnaise, which I love to add to pasta. Now I'm going to share with you how I strain the pasta. Yes, it's kind of tricky using a chair with something very hot, but I balance myself like this and I push myself over here to the stove, which, let me move the camera so you can see, it is definitely bounce practice. So look at, there we are, and then there is the kitchen right here. So now what I'm going to do is share with you exactly how I've had to, you know, practice this for a while. Obviously this is something very hot. I'm just gonna bring you over like here so you can see the whole thing, okay? So there, and now this is super hot, but I balance it, then I pour in here. Okay, like so. I rinse this off quickly with cold water and kind of do a little shaky, 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 shaky. Let that set for a second. And let me share with you exactly what I was showing you about the mayonnaise getting super thick and creamy, which is going to be the sauce for the pasta. Look at that, how beautiful. The next step is, after we have created this delicious thick mayonnaise or pasta, Alfredo sauce, whatever you want to call it, get a bowl. We're gonna pour all of the ingredients in here. As you saw earlier, I shared with you the veggies, okay? The veggies are here. We're gonna add those last. I'm gonna first incorporate this pasta, okay? Put it in here. It's all cooled off now. Look at this beautiful pasta. And now we're going to add some. We don't necessarily need all of this, okay? We're gonna add to our liking. So I'm very old school with it. I usually don't do a lot of measuring. I kind of do to taste. So right now I have about 3 spatulas, as you see. That's what it's looking like, okay? And then we're going to mix it together. And we're also gonna add a couple other different spices. I'm really a huge fan of adding different spices, kind of a fusion of things. So one of my favorites I like to use is this northern, it's an Indian curry blend. I love to add a dash of this because it has such healing ingredients. It has coriander, cardamom, cinnamon, cumin, black pepper, celery seed, anise, allspice, cloves, and sea salt. It just adds Okay, we're finishing up the pasta. I've mixed it in the sauce together. Now we're going to add these delicious veggies. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and add those in there. Get it all in there, as you can see. There we go. And to also combine these. In addition to that other spice, the Northern Indian curry spice, what I like to add is garlic powder and garlic salt combo. Okay, use whatever one that you like that suits your preference, just a little dash. And then I add a little Italian seasoning too. Okay, and my I use a lot of garlic powder. As you can tell, we're gonna put some of that in there. Yes, love garlic. And then we mix it all together. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna share with you so you can see what this is looking like. This is what we have. This is what it's coming to be like. Now we need to taste it. So let me see if I got, oh, I have my silverware right here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a little taste test and see how it's turning out. This is delicious. If you love garlic as much as me, garlic is a super staple for me. This is tasting delicious. There you go. This is a very simple, not too difficult homemade sauce that you can make. Again, you can use a pasteurized egg if you prefer. Just make sure you purchase those when you're making your homemade sauce, if that's something you prefer. I used a whole raw egg, okay? But then once you heat these ingredients up again, if you do, enjoy. Bon appetit.